Aloha from Hawaii again. This is Chris. I have been besieged by so many requests on how to make a leader system. What do I use for leader to catch the fish that you see me catching? I have many different ways of making leaders, but what I'm going to show you is the best all around leadering system I found that works. It works because it catches fish. It works because it's fast. It's simple. It's easy to do. You can prep it ahead of time. I will show you step by step on the tools, the materials you're going to need, and trust me, you will catch fish using this system. And hopefully, you can pass this on to other people because, hey, it's no secret. What I use is very similar to what other people use. I've modified a basic system to work with the way that I like to fish. So hopefully this will help you out. Watch this. Hey, aloha, Kengies. This is Scuba Chris coming from you from Hawaii, and I'm going to tell you how to make modified leader system for whipping. Normally, I go out and I whip. I don't usually do the surf cast or the bait casting. I prefer whipping. So I'll show you my modified system. First, tomorrow I'm going to go shallow. So I'm going to use these, which are Odul hooks. You notice how the tip is fairly curved, bent in back into the shank, which means that when it's skipping along the reef, there's less chance of it catching the reef. So it will just bounce along. So what I do first is I offset the hook. And to offset the hook, clamp it down here. I don't know if you can see this, but we're just going to offset it just a little. And a little bit more. That's it. I don't know if you can see that, but see how that hook is slightly offset? It's no longer straight. That's all you're going to need, just the slightest amount of offset. And this will increase your chances of a hookup. Okay, our hook is now offset. What I like to do, I use the Sakura brand 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader. Okay, take some line out. I usually like to do roughly about 8 feet because I'm going shallow. There's not much need for a longer leader. If I was going deep water, I'd be going about maybe 10 or 12. Cut the line. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a Palomar. You always start from inside of the hook, which is towards the point. So you put your line through. See how that? Come through the other side. Okay. See, now it's doubled. Loop it around. Back to inside. Okay, see what we got there so far? Put this loop through the hook. Draw it tight. You normally don't have to wet it down if you're using 8-pound test. I always like to use my scissors because I can just pull on it, tighten both ends. Okay, cut it to within about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, there you go. See how the hook is all done right now? Alrighty, so what is next? Next, I like to modify just a hair by using glow thread. This is blue, glows in the dark. And before I was using this size number 5 or dual hooks. Um, for average reef species, I found the number 5 is pretty good. It's small enough where I can catch a variety of species and it'll hold the fairly larger species as well. Okay, this is an example of glow thread. So, again, I'll start from the inside, put it through eye of the hook. Now watch, you must come back same way as you went in, like that. See what I did there? Ooh. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay. Now that's double going through the eye of the hook like the main line, the leader line did. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to be very simple. Tie one granny knot. And you notice I use my scissors to help me out. There. One. That's one single granny. Now, the second part of this, I'm going to double once and double twice, and you just pull it just like your finger tight. Okay, trim the excess off just a little bit like so. Now what this is going to do, it's going to act like a teaser. See that this glow thread would be glowing in the dark, and even during the daytime it will just act as a teaser. It will help. Okay, then I use my grubs. You can use whatever grubs you're comfortable with. You have to be comfortable and have faith in your products. I prefer these completely hooked lures. That's the name of the company. Landon Yamamoto locally here in Hawaii makes these. These are extended glow. They go up to 4 hours. They're the brightest ones I've ever used. Now, if I use sickle hooks, they would have sickles along the shank of the hook, and I can hold it in place. But today I want to use a teaser style because I'm going to be going over the shallow reefs. So I get the thick end. So you get the thick end, put it to the head. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? It acts like a teaser. It'll tease it. Now, run to the other end of my leader. Okay, first I want to put a glow bead on it because I want the glow bead to be on top of the hook. I like to use number 4 size green glow bead. So I get my glow bead. Now you're going to remember I'm doing this reverse, so this glow bead will be on top of the hook. Can you see that? Next, I'm going to use, this is from Japan. These are ceramic red glass beads. These are kind of hard to come by. They're flattened on each end. These are very heavy and they're very good to use. They mimic the eyes of a fish. So that's it here. And these are fairly difficult to put through if you're just holding it up like this because they're very, very tiny with a very tiny hole. But see, there you go. Run that through. Now what is that going to look like? Ooh, doesn't that look nice? Okay, now for the end, I'm going to use a swivel and we're going to tie a Palomar knot to the end of the swivel. So remember what I did with the hook. I could put this I could put the line through. Can you see? It's through. And if you come back the same way, oops, let me see. Like so, you can tie Palomar. But in this case, the swivel has a very thick, rounded opening. See that? So we can just double up this line instead, and we can just put the line through the eye of the hook, like so. We can't do that with the hook. We can easily do it with the swivel, reason why we can't do it with the hook, because the hook was fairly small. So what I showed you was just a shortcut to get it done. See? That is the loop of a Palomar. We get this in, run, okay, run the swivel through that end, pull it, look at that, nice tight knot. Okay, get our scissors, cut it to within 1/8 of an inch. There you go. Perfect. So let's see what we got here. We have our nice little teaser lure all ready to go. Now it's kind of messy bringing lures like this because they get all tangled. What I do is I get a piece of cardboard and I make slits in it. I actually write on it, this is a dual number 5 hook with a Sakura fluorocarbon 8-pound leader. Now what I do is just simply see the corrugations. I just simply put the hook in there. This will hold too because I put 2 slits in it. I can bring a variety of pre-made leaders with me at all times without nothing getting tangled. And I tell you, that's a blessing. When I'm through, I can put it away the same way. But see how I did that? That is how I transport my leaders. Okay? Well, that is my system on how to make a preset leader. Thank you for watching this segment. Thank you. Aloha, this is Chris again. Now, imagine we're at the beach. We want to use a modified leader system to put our leaders on the pole. But here is my fishing rod right here. Okay, how do we attach what we just did to this? Okay, I will show you. What you want to do is attach a 3/8 ounce lead. Now, this is 6-pound test line. I like to use 3/8. 4-pound test line, I use a quarter. 10-pound to 12-pound, I use a half. Depends on how hard you whip, where you're whipping, what kind of distance you want. Okay, what I do is I put the line to the lead, just like that. See that? Okay. Now that I got it through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up the line here because we're going to tie on a swivel. See, little ball bearing swivel right there. And we're going to, and it just has a clip on it. So we can clip to the swivels we have on our leaders. Okay, just double the line, ran it through. Okay, make our loop, run the loop through like that. Put this through, and cinch it up. Boom. Very easy. I like Palomars. Palomars are cool knots. They are very strong. If when I had brakes, they would never at the knot. They will always somewhere along the line cut off the excess. Wow, look at that. We have us a 3/8 ounce lead egg. Okay, notice that. And it's connected to the fishing rod. Okay, now look what we did here. We made our preset system. Now I have a lot of presets. There's about a dozen and a half in there. And on the cardboard, there's all different types of hooks, strength of lines, and they're all made for a certain area. This is made for shallow reef. Okay, so what do? We get the ball bearing, swivel at the end. See how it's open? We get the swivel off the preset. See right here off the preset. We run it through like that. Then just clip it off. See? It's all attached to this. Now it's part of this. Now the only thing we have to do is unravel this and just get ready to whip wherever you want to whip. When you're through, same thing. You just reverse the system. Take it off. Put it back on this. And that's it. You can easily store this again. My system, I consider it pretty good. I'm sure that everybody has their own system, but I prefer this because it is the easiest thing I found to put your leaders away, get everything ready. When the bait fish are jumping, when the school's running, I'm ready to go. I can vary the pound test of my leaders, the type of hooks, the type of rubs I am using. You can use it for artificial rubs as well as live bait or dead baits. Okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you.